Hi crafters! Valentine's Day is softly brushing past us with its wings, and today we are going to follow the feathers. If you love light, elegant project with a soft poetic feel, you're going to love this one. We're making a graceful swan card perfect for Valentine's Day, a nursery, or really any space that could use a little handmade magic. For this project, I really recommend using your lightest papers because we are aiming for softness and elegance. I start with a piece of grey cardstock or even a recycled cereal box, which gives a beautiful, slightly rustic background. For the swan, I use 2 to 3 sheets of white cardstock plus 1 sheet of silver cardstock for the decoration. You will also need a black marker, an orange or light brown marker, and a bit of white and pink silk paper. I begin by very lightly sketching the silhouette of my swan on white cardstock. I like to think of it as a tilted reverse letter S. The neck is long, slim and curved, and the body is rounder, fuller and softer. Once I'm happy with the shape, I trace it again onto a second piece of white cardstock. This second layer will help create some relief and give the swan a bit more dimension. On the top layer, I draw the shape of the eye and carefully cut it out. Later, I'll draw the actual eye on the layer underneath so it feels deeper and more alive. At first, I duplicated the whole body, but honestly it was really hard to glue without getting bubbles, so I decided to keep the layering just on the head and neck, and that worked much better. Once the two heads are glued together, I draw a soft, gentle eye with a fine black marker, then I outline the beak and color it with an orange or light brown marker. Now comes my favorite part, the feathers. I cut lots of small drop-shaped pieces from white cardstock, all in different sizes. I start layering them like fish scales along the back of the swan, stopping about halfway. From there, I switch to longer, more pointed feather shapes. These really add movement, depth and a more realistic look. I also trim the bottom of the body slightly to suggest the tail. When I'm happy with the swan, knowing I might still tweak it later, I move on to the background. I take my silver cardstock and draw a frame all around it. Inside that frame, I sketch leaves, vines, water flowers, and flowering plant shapes. The idea is to create a romantic setting that helps the swan stand out against the grey background. This part definitely takes some patience. With an X-Acto knife, I slowly free the designs from the background, being careful not to cut all the way through. I really want to keep that clean, elegant frame with a delicate lace-like feel. Once it's done, I glue the silver frame onto the grey background and place the swan right in the center. And of course, crafting moment, I accidentally damaged a small area of the swan and smudged some black marker. But honestly, that's part of the process, and sometimes little accidents like that lead to better ideas. The swan felt a bit flat anyway, so I decided to soften it and add more depth by covering the head and neck with white silk paper. I glue it gently, then redraw the eye and beak on top. I love the softness of the head, but the neck felt a little too blurry, so I reshaped it with a clean cut of cardstock and glued that in place. That balance felt just right. I also tucked in a few silk paper feathers here and there among the cardstock ones, just to add extra lightness and elegance. Next, I make a flower using pink and white silk paper, layering the petals to create a soft, open bloom. I punch out a few tiny pink hearts and glue them around the swan to really bring in that romantic feeling. Under the swan, I add a few curved shapes to suggest gentle water ripples. Then I cut a lace-inspired pattern from white cardstock and glue it where the chest meets the feathers. And for the final touch, thanks to a very good idea from my young daughter, I make a tiny crown from silver cardstock and glue it on top of the swan's head, because honestly, every swan deserves to be a queen. And voila, a project that's simple to make but soft, elegant and full of texture, perfect for Valentine's Day, a nursery or handmade gift straight from the heart. As always, I really hope this project inspires you to create something similar. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more creative projects, and let me know in the comments how you would use this one. Thank you so much for crafting with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting!